done in order to go in the language room of your choice. I will please ask that you speak with a moderate pace so that I can accurately translate for you. If you are English speaking only, please click select English. That way, when we have intervention in Creole and I am translating, you will be able to hear the English interpretation. Thank you. Have a good meeting.
Thank you. So we have Dr. Pierre-Louis will give us an overview of the situation in Haiti, the international response, and as well the introduction of Jacky Lumarque for us.
How do you email a minute? All right.
Thank you, Father Yves Geoffroy, and welcome again, everyone. This is a monthly webinar with the clergy and members of the Faith in Action International and National on the situation in Haiti. I would ask, if you are not speaking, please put your mic on mute so there is no interference. And also, if you have any question, feel free to put it in the chat so that Jacky Lumarque and Father Yves Geoffroy can see the question that you would like to ask. I'm not going to give a long overview of the situation in Haiti because I'm reserving this privilege to Jacky Lumarque, who is a good friend of mine, someone I've known for many years. I am my biggest and most memorable impression of Jacky was that on the earthquake that took place in 2010 on January 12th, I was with Jacky on the Sunday, January 9th at that time. I was visiting Quisqueya University, which he had just completed a number of buildings on the campus. We visited these buildings, we saw the infrastructure. That was on a Sunday afternoon. And on a Tuesday, that earthquake happened and everything completely fell down. Several students lost their lives. That was devastating. And no, really, it was a terrible loss. But what happened, and the reason that I'm so impressed and appreciate Jacky was the fact that within 6 months, Jacky Lumarque was able to rebuild the campus with temporary buildings and infrastructure to get it going, to start the process again. And he was able to raise enough money, build up a leadership within Haiti and outside of Haiti to rebuild that campus. Today, if you visit that campus, you wouldn't even realize that there was an earthquake in 2010 that totally destroyed the campus. This was a proof of leadership. It was a proof also that on Jacky's resilience, and the fact that Jacky is, interestingly enough, which is very rare with people in Haiti, is that he can work with people from different sides of the aisle. As a president of Quisqueya University, Jacky has been the one that every government in Haiti has called upon to write policy papers on education, housing, healthcare, on many of the social issues, and even on the judicial reform. People may not think that we don't have qualified people in Haiti to do the work. We do have. The problem is that, as always, the government can ask you to write a paper, but at the same time, they don't really follow the recommendations that are written in these papers. But Jacky has not given up. We know what the situation is in Haiti, the risk he has faced all the time. And recently, Jacky has been involved and has been asked by different sectors in Haiti to see if they can bring the two sides, the different sides together to see if they can find a common solution on the crisis facing Haiti. Jacky has done his best. He has met with different sectors. He has engaged in dialogue brought different groups together on groups that were not on speaking terms before. So he's someone who can really bring consensus. And that's why I thought it would be interesting to invite him to talk to us and to give us an update on the situation in Haiti, about the crisis and what is being done. So again, Jacky, thank you very much for accepting our invitation, and welcome again to our group. And we appreciate the time that you are giving us. So welcome, and we invite you to give us an update on the situation in Haiti and what you have been doing, and then we'll engage in a dialogue.
Well, thank you, Francois. Thank you very much. And then good evening, everyone. I thank you all for inviting me to this conversation with you. And let me tell you, I really like the concept of way forward in Haiti. But that means to me that we have to prepare for a very long walk. We will have to recognize the right path and then find the perseverance and determination necessary to go all the way. As I used to repeat with to my students, despite our long history of setbacks, the story for Haiti is not over. Haitians are, as you know, a resilient and fighting people. And despite also the ambiguity of our relationship with what should be called the international community, Haiti also has real friends abroad. You are part of this community of friends. And I'm therefore really very happy to take the journey with you. And I thank my friend Francois Pierre-Louis for giving me this incredible opportunity today. Let me take the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse on July 7, 2021 as a starting point for my introduction.
Oh, no.
Because of what? Because sure, that represents a huge political, social, and human shock for all Haitians. But it also places the country in incomparable uncertainty, because it leaves us in what I call a constitutional desert, with no legal at all provision to replace the president. It is true that there was already some confusion about the date of the end of his mandate. And according to the opinion of our experts, and I'm referring to the experts of Kiskeya, who are part of the chair on Haitian constitutionalism that we established 13 years ago, his mandate was to expire as early as February 7, 2021. However, a tweet, I repeat, a tweet from the OAS Secretary General, Mr. Amago, extended the term of his mandate by 1 year by just saying that the mandate of the president ended on February 7, 2022 instead of 2021. And so this tweet has become some kind of fait accompli. Therefore, at the time of his death, President Jovenel Moïse was already a de facto president with no legitimacy, with no legality. And his death puts the country in a way in a constitutional desert, because really no way to find a legal piece, a legal reference to face this void in our legal system. But a second tweet, this time from the representative of the UN Secretary General, would give him a replacement by making Ariel Henry his prime minister in charge of the entire state apparatus. We have to recognize that President Moïse had chosen Ariel Henry to be his prime minister just 1 day before his assassination. But this choice, according to our constitution, must be ratified by our parliament. And the prime minister must also take an oath before the Cour de Cassation, the equivalent of our Supreme Court, and he has to be also formally installed before taking office. But the parliament at this time was dysfunctional, and the Court of Cassation had refused his oath, and Mr. Ariel Henry had not been installed and could not take office. The consequence, Ariel Henry, by the grace of the UN, is the de facto president and both prime minister. We Haitians, really, we are used to seeing the international community interfere in our electoral processes and choose our president for us. But with these two tweets, maybe we enter a new form of democracy, an important democracy that we could call tweetocracy. Since then, Haitians have found themselves plunged into a growing hell with a government chosen by the international community, but abandoned to itself and unable to solve the most basic problems of society. As you know, the gangs today, armed and financed by the two previous administrations, that of Martelly and that of Jovenel Moïse, have acquired power superior to that of the army and the police, and are today in charge of most of the territory. Transportation, hospitals, schools, business are paralyzed in at least 60% of the capital, and almost no public services today are available. Kidnapping, collective massacres, and burning of entire neighborhoods are daily occurrences for most Haitians. And today, I can tell you, my friends, that the suffering of the Haitians, especially the poorest, has reached the limit of what a human being can bear with dignity. And this international community that helped create this misfortune is going around in circles, organizing pointless international meetings and unproductive Security Council sessions, inviting the Haitians to find a solution on their own, what they call the Haitian-led solution, while manipulating the negotiation processes behind the scenes, still supporting against all reason and unpopular, impotent, and illegal government, and finally abandoning the Haitians to their suffering. This is really not fair. We have also to confess that the Haitian question is a complex one, and that its problems do not date from today, do not date either from the death of Jovenel Moïse. It is the consequence of a long practice of poor public governance. It is the consequence of a culture of predation and corruption, but also a long practice of resorting to gang violence as a means not only of conquering, but also of maintaining political power. It is also the result of a class of irresponsible elites disconnected from Haitian reality, who consider that Haiti is the factory where they make money, but not a place to live. That's why they spend their weekends in Florida. They seek medical care in Miami or New York. They send their kids to school in Canada and the United States. This is a one-tier economy that has developed where the economic elite uses the government as a cash cow to the exclusion of the rest of the population, in particular the poor and the peasants. The logical result of its actions has been political instability, economic inefficiency, unbearable asymmetries in the distribution of wealth, and the projection of the state of Haiti in a trajectory of continued degeneration. Today, I can tell you, daily life is dominated by the small economic elite and a few hundred politicians, all of them disconnected from the rest of the society. The chaos that Haitians live under the influence of gangs, facing a state paralyzed by corruption, and which no longer provides any service to citizens. This chaos is the result of this plot Well, this is this plot between politicians and the small economic elite. In his famous book entitled La vocation de l'élite, the vocation of the elite, Dr. Jean Price Mars uses the word disarray to present the state of mind of the mulattoes, which exclusively dominated the Haitian economy and Haitian politics during the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. The landing of American occupation forces in 1915 posed a credible existential threat to the system that had been put in place in the aftermath of independence, which system was based on the instrumentalization of terror to capture the institution of the state and control the political power and the distribution of wealth. However, and this is important to stress, because most intellectuals would agree that the American occupation had positive results. This was one of the positive results of the American occupation in 1915. But however, with the departure of the occupying forces, political instability soon reappeared. And from the beginning of the 1980s, a new form of crime, drug trafficking, appeared. The instrumentalization of terror has returned as the main strategy in the hands of some of the players, both in the political and economic game. This reality has been accentuated to the point of becoming a system at the start of the 21st century. This system is nothing but a version more evil than that of the 19th century and the beginning of the 20th century. And when President Martelly speaks of legal banditry, this is his word, legal banditry, what he's doing, he's just only formalizing and institutionalizing this practice of the dominant elites. Today, most Haitians and more observers outside Haiti begin to understand that our nightmare has its root not only in our internal contradictions, but also in the complex relationship that the country has always had with what we call the international community. Remember, the 1825 ordinance of King Charles X from France demanding the payment of an indemnity of 150 million francs in recognition of Haiti's independence was the first step to kill us and to handicap our development effort. This is the equivalent of 10 years of tax revenues, today $21 billion at minimum. Haiti would take almost 150 years to extinguish this debt. We're also to mention six peacekeeping missions from 1993 to 2019. Their mandate was what? Their mandate was to increase stability, strengthen the rule of law, reinforce the judiciary system and the national police. And look, today, despite the billions of dollars that these missions have cost, the result is a real disaster. The sanctions that Canada and more timidly the United States are beginning to impose on the politicians and businessmen responsible for this collapse are a good start. They are a good start, provided that they do not remain superficial and finally hit the head of the monster. These sanctions, but at the same time, be accompanied by rapid and robust action to curb the spread of gangs, to clean up, that's the word, clean up and strengthen our security forces and reorganize the judicial system, which is a necessary condition to eliminate impunity and establish a new culture of the rule of law in the country. These are the tasks of a transitional government that Ariel Henry has shown himself incapable of accomplishing. We must take note of this limitation and move on. That is to say, the preparation of good elections, which this time leave us the chance to choose our elected representative, that is ourselves. We must be warned, but let's pay the price for our words, and we learn from that, those errors. And the last 4 years have undermined the country's productive capacity and state institutions. They impoverish the peasantry and the middle classes and increase social inequalities. This is why the response to the Haitian problem today must not be only political. It must also be fundamentally economic and social. We must start create the condition to attract foreign investment, to strengthen public institutions, to eliminate smuggling and corruption in the state, and encourage Haitians themselves to invest in Haiti. And why not? Well, starting by facilitating the repatriation of Haitian investment established in Dominican Republic. We should have there with a red carpet, while at the same time imposing inhuman treatment on our immigrants who contribute to that development. We Haitians, we can do better for Haitian investors and give them an appropriate framework to make even more money, but within the law. But at the same time, we must, my friends, abandon the illusion that we can make the country work by accepting that half of its inhabitants are languishing in hunger and poverty and cannot have access to the most basic social services. That cannot work.
Jacky,
Yes.
I'm sorry for interrupting you, but I wanted to know what is, I know you were facilitating a dialogue between the Montana group and other groups in the country under the leadership of the university. What is the status of this dialogue right now? Okay,
remember that initially for more than 14 months, the country has been kept in hostage by the dynamic of negotiation between the Montana group and the government. And it was some kind of bilateral, and that blocked the country, and nobody wanted to make any concessions. What the university proposed is to change the strategy and first work what I call the bilateral relationship between Montana and the government and create a larger alliance, including the whole civil society. That's why we contacted the human, the unions, the organization of human rights, the private sector, and the chambers of commerce to organize a more global alliance, and to reach another situation where we don't have Montana versus Ariel, but we have the whole society versus Ariel. Second, we also asked Montana, invited Montana to change the strategy. Montana envisaged to negotiate with Ariel Henry, but they have already selected their own president and their own prime minister. And they want to negotiate with Ariel Henry, who is today in charge of he's both president and prime minister. There is no chance that this negotiation can succeed because you ask the guy to put himself outside. And so I changed the strategy and proposed them to renounce the decision to start the negotiation with the president elected for Montana and the prime minister elected. And third initiative, the international community likes to say Haitian-led solution, but it's a word, it's not reality. What I propose, let's take them to the word and really advance to a Haitian-led solution by taking the steps together to talk together and without asking permission for the proposals that we advance. And I can tell you, we're really well advanced. And I talked to everybody, to all the ambassadors, France, Canada, United States. I talked to the United Nations. and this proposal was admitted. But to confess, while I was advancing in building this huge, large coalition with the private sector, union, civil society, the Montana group itself was broken. That is broken in 3 different segments, and they are almost unable to talk together. And that leaves a huge opportunity to Ariel to stay here without any action to demonstrate that he wants elections and he wants the country to engage in the Constitution. That's where we are now. Okay.
Okay. I know that there is a
But that's why I say that for me, the transition for me must be an opportunity to break this infernal cycle. Sometimes you read Montana group team talk about transition de rupture that may create fear, that break transition. What they mean is that we need to establish the conditions so that these actors, these evil actors, cease to be in control of political power through rigged elections or with the support of foreign countries that are tolerant of this mafiosi only because they are afraid of what they call the political left.
Okay. Thank you. If you have any questions, please
An
put them
opportunity
in the chat.
to revise the existing constitution. We have demonstrated that this constitution lacks clarity and contains many internal contradictions, an obstacle to the holding of regular elections and the functioning of effective governance. We can do that with instability. We cannot do that with an illegitimate government without the confidence of the population. That's what I think now we really need a real transition. We are not in the transition. We are in the situation de facto created and supported unwisely by the international community. And the task to move forward must be a Haitian task, Francois. The community, the international community can help get through this ordeal by starting listening to us and stopping manipulating behind the scenes while saying that they need a Haitian-led solution. But I would say that this task also, Francois, is a responsibility for the diaspora. You diaspora, you can serve as a shield against the bad policies of the international community. But also you can contribute to the search of solution thanks to the expertise you have available, and also to the network of friends from abroad, like the group of friends. They are not Haitian, they are not diaspora. The friends you are getting to today in Haiti. This is an important asset for us to move forward. Okay, let me stop here. I could add so many things. Let me stop here to listen to your comments, your analysis, and possibly to your questions. Thank you very much for attention, and excuse me for being so long. There was so much to tell.
Thank you. Jacky, a follow-up question. We know that there's a Canadian delegation, diplomatic delegation in Haiti right now. Are you planning to meet with them, because their role is to find a common ground for the opposition to work with Ariel so that they can have a transition? Are you in touch with them? Are you planning to meet with them on this, the proposal that you have?
Okay, excuse me if I put off my camera because my signal is very poor. The internet is very deficient. Sometimes I have to put it off to have a better signal.
Okay.
I have a meeting this afternoon with the Canadian delegation, and the speech I'll convey to them is this kind of speech. They talk about a Haitian-led solution, but they don't want that. They keep manipulating behind the scenes, and they are there to support Ariel Henry. But I don't really see how we can move forward with a government that is illegitimate, illegal, only supported by the international communities, and not liked by Haitian, and furthermore, who has been so inefficient in responding to the most basic things, which is the control of the gangs to the territory. And also, they have not stopped with the tradition of supporting the gang financially. We have elements that lead us to think that they are in the same tradition initiated by Jovenel and Martelly to use gangs to maintain political power and to take advantages against political enemies. That needs to stop. This is where we need the international community. Let us face, because today the police is corrupted, the police is inefficient, they are outpassed by the firepower of the gang in number and in logistical capacity. We cannot solve this problem alone. We need some kind of interaction with international forces that not replace the police, but that help Haitians clean the police. We enforce them, give them more equipment, more training, more supervision, vetting, and help us tackle the security vulnerability. It would be the first step for Haitians to be able to breathe and consider the possibility of having fair elections.
Thank you. The one question on the chat was about, what can the American people do to further democratic change in Haiti? Jacky, did you hear the question?
The best thing they can do.
Uh-huh.
Okay. What I used to say, you can import democracy. You cannot import democracy, and you cannot impose democracy either. It's a long learning curve, and that's why I say, let us choose by ourselves. Let us make errors. Let us be punished for the errors we make, and let us learn from our errors and then correct them gradually. That's why a population can learn. And most of the times, when they impose solutions from abroad, they are bad solutions. And we are victims of choices made by the international community, not choices made by ourselves. And that's not really fair, again.
Thank you. Okay, so what is the key to get beyond this place of being stuck? Because it seems like we are stuck, right? In the right now in Haiti, there is like the needle has not moved that much between the Montana and the other sectors. And I know the university and the leadership, the consortium of universities have also gotten into this process. So what do you think would be the key to get us beyond that now?
Okay, maybe the international community cannot hear our own voice from Haiti. I see your action in both ways. First, being a shield for us against the bad behavior when they take bad decisions. You can alert the whole world. And today, due to the social networks, we cannot hide anything. You cannot hide bad actions. Everything is so open. And so you can be an important shield for Haitians that are fighting on the land. But also you are a source of expertise. You have not within yourself good network of qualification and competencies. Also, you can wish also to American citizens, Europeans, Latin American citizens, and that can also be a complementary source of expertise for Haiti. I was in Washington a month ago, and I was discussing the idea of gathering a group of Latin American ambassadors to constitute a force of proposal to assist Haiti in this endeavor. And there can also be a voice in front of the State Department and the White House, and to bring to the table the cause of Haiti. And this is something that we consider that by mid-December, we can have our first meeting with this group of ambassadors that can be a complementary force to what you are doing in the diaspora, because we need a big alliance to make the decision maker was think differently regarding Haiti.
Thank you. Thank you, Jacky. While you are there and talking about what we can do, I would let me briefly introduce Flossie Tirel and Madame Saint-Fleur. They are leaders of Opodne, and they've been engaged in the campaign, agricultural campaign, to get USAID to change its policy toward Haiti when it comes to agriculture. Because you just mentioned the role of the international community and how the US has a huge influence on Haiti. And we know that right now, most of the money that comes in for agriculture in Haiti comes from USAID. So let me ask Flossie to say a few words about that and what they're doing as part of this movement that you mentioned, Jacky. Flossie, bonjour, comment est? Sous mute. On va parler.
Cool. I'm very well, thank you. Hello, everybody. Hello, Francois. We are very happy every time that we have the opportunity to be on this panel. Just as Francois mentioned, I'm going to give you a couple of details on the campaign that we have, the agricultural campaign that Apodny is leading in the Northeast.
You can hear this in English by choosing English
Um,
interpretation globe. At the bottom of your screen, select English.
On va continuer, Flossie.
Ok. Donc, après nous
Okay.
fin engagé nous.
So after we committed in the General Assembly for that campaign, where we made the members commit so that they can collaborate with the leading group, we started doing the work in the communities so that we can see with them what can we do and as a priority. And after this listening campaign, we started with 2 communities. And this was a way to inform both community of what the priorities would be for Apodny, because we want to eat in our own home. We see what's happening in the neighboring countries where they're humiliating us for like little fruits like lemons and grapefruits, and they're humiliating for us. So we want to eat in our own home, but in order to eat in your own home, you have to participate. So our slogan is, let's plant today so that we can give ourselves food tomorrow. The biggest obstacle that we encountered throughout the region is irrigation, because we cannot concentrate on agriculture and just rely on rain. If they cannot have irrigation, they cannot have water for the land, then there is no need to begin the agricultural campaign in the Northeast, because we did the experience before. We planted bananas and plantain, and we waited on rain, and it was a total disaster. We lost money and time. So it's not good, because then they see that the money was a waste. And when we're telling them that everything is going to work out, everything is going to be okay, and we want to show them that everything that we do it well, and we want to bring it to a national scale. So the work that we try to do right now, short term, midterm, and long term, how we can really use the agriculture and take the steps with the institution in order to get better rates and the possibility that they can help us with digging wells in the different departments in Northwest also. We sat with them, responsible person, the leaders of USID, and see how they could give us like a minimum support. We put together the program, but it didn't work. And we were trying to see with them, what other method can we use in order for them to invest in Haiti, because they need to redefine and question the old methods, because even though they spend a lot of money in Haiti, it doesn't result to anything. Pardon me, the sound is not stable. they gave us, they told us that they would sit with us again to have more conversation so that they can support us and so that we can talk about the question of agriculture in the country. And the last thing that I would like to say is that the communities that Apodni service in the Northeast and or in the East and the North, and there is a committee that's in place that is, and the responsible person is Johnson Saint-Hilaire, and we want to see how faith in action can be present everywhere throughout Haiti, because our goal is to work for the Haitian community. So thank you very much. I'm very happy to have shared this time with you.
Here's the petition.
So thank you for
You know,
Flossie.
we have come to a roadblock with USAID in Haiti. So we are campaigning to talk directly with Samantha Powers. In the past, meeting with Brian Nichols at the State Department, members of the National Security, and the members of the White House. That's how we were able to get vaccines for the Northeast in Haiti. We were able to get other support, especially the COVID vaccines that went to Haiti. Part of it was part of, as a result of the campaign that you all had a launch because the vaccines were not going to go to Haiti right away, and the Northeast was not going to benefit from it. So we're asking you all to please sign the petition, and so that we can meet with Samantha Powers so that she can put pressure on the local office in Haiti to meet with us to address these issues. And before we, I turn it back to Pastor Yves Geoffroy. Jacky, I know that you are all over the country, so I'm sure Flossie in the Northeast would really love to see you come back to be in the Northeast, and when you come to visit them in Terre Rouge, because I know you have been doing some work in the Northeast with a lot of organizations. I don't know if you want to give us some details about that and what kind of work that you've been doing with those organizations.
Okay, really happy to be able to reach with Flossie, and I will surely visit her as soon as possible. And I would suggest to do that before the end of this year. Flossie, I've been in the country certainly in the country for more than 5 years, visiting even myself, not myself, but my team, all the 572 section communal section, which is the smallest administrative unit of the country. Let me tell you, this is a level of the country where not even the government has information. It is a black box for the country. And for the last 5 years, ISKEA has been talking to people, stakeholders, peasant farmers, associations, teachers, in order to establish what we call local roadmaps. And using the framework of the United Nations 17 strategic development goals, the 17 SDG, that means zero hunger, zero poverty, education for all, good health, gender equity, and so on. And with the help of the community and a group of experts, we have completed the diagnosis for the 570 section communal, and have also finished the elaboration of 372 roadmaps, where people not only realize a local diagnosis of the resources, constraints, problems, difficulties, and potentials, but also they have decided what to do with the community. This is a new vision of the local development, where we said to the local people, don't expect the government, a senator or a congressman to do something for you. Don't even expect that an NGO will bring solution for you. Take your destiny in your hand and design what you want to do with the resources available, and let's start doing something. The external resources will come in addition to the path we have already decided. And so I'm in the process now to come back to the communities for restitution of the results and also for the validation. And after that, the next step will be a global action plan. And I can tell you now today, I'm in discussion with Kellogg Foundation and also Inter-American Development Bank. We showed a lot of interest for this kind of initiative because this is for the first time an institution which is out to this level of the Asian community, listens to them and try to bring another type of response, and that paves the way for a new kind of a paradigm in terms of cooperation, where the state doesn't become the central and exclusive partner. We now have the potential to have local interlocutors that can talk directly to international donors based on their local plans. That's what we're being. And I'd like to discuss that with Flossie. And when I'm going back to the Northeast, I'd like us to receive our teams and to start with her teams to come back again to the communities and to share the conclusions of our work.
Very good. Very happy.
Amazing.
Yes, that's amazing. I not tenir, I don't know, Flossie, vous devez faire une réaction?
Oui, moi vraiment content.
Yes, I am really, really happy. We are waiting for you. We'll wait for you in the Northeast so that we can work together. But what I would like to add, this is exactly what APODNI is doing. What we want to do is reinforce the capacity. We are not a project that we bring to the community. We reinforce the community's capacity, their leaders, in order for them to have the resources in order to identify the real needs that they have in their communities. And we have activities where they take their own initiative without having APODNI being on top and telling them what to do. We give them a minimum, but it's really like a loan. Anyways, I'm really happy. Thank you so much. And I'll wait to see you. Yes, we have a good base now to start working. So I'll wait for Francois to put us in contact with the coordination. Yes, I will do that right now, put you guys in contact. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over to Pastor Yves.
Francois, just to underline that we put in the chat that we're running our end of year appeal, raising funding for APODNI. All the funding goes directly to Haiti. It's matched 1-to-1 by John Sobrato before December 31st. So I put the link in the chat, but if you want to directly support the kind of grassroots organizing that Jacky and Florcy have been talking about, the link is there. So we're very grateful.
Thank you. I say you.
Thank you, everyone, for coming to that Way Forward for Haiti. And we thank in a special way Mr. Jacky Lumarque for his remark about Haiti, and his approach was really very well done. And we hope that he has planned for Haiti. He has been working in the area country to see what can be done for Haiti. So we thank him, and we hope we will continue to support him in that endeavor. So we know the situation is really terrible in Haiti. There is something that to be done right away, because I don't know how the people can continue to live in that situation. So we hope he will continue to work his best to find solution to really help Haiti. So we thank him again, and we hope we'll continue to dialogue with what's happening in Haiti right now. So we thank you. We thank everybody for coming, and we hope we will continue to fight for Haiti. Justice supposed to be done for our country who has been in turmoil for a long time. Thank you, and God bless you all.
Thank you.
God bless you. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Well, we finish on time. Jacky, we didn't take too much of your time. We started on time, we finished on time. Thank you. Merci.
Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.